Welcome to another episode of One-on-One. My name is David and I'm joined by Dr. Emilie. How are you, Emilie?
I'm great, Dave. Thanks for inviting me back.
Well, it's great to have you here. As you know, Dr. Emilie heads up the child psychologist and counselor team that supports all of our KHUSA national network. And along the way, they have accumulated years worth of questions that have come to them from mentors and directors out across the country. What we've done is we've selected a few of the most popular questions, and that's what we're going to address. So Emilie, let's dive right in. When a mentor and a student start their meeting together and they're having some good conversation, at some point in time there needs to be a transition into activities, fun activities, maybe academic activities. But how do I mentor through that transition into an activity from conversation? What are your thoughts on that?
Great question. And let's first acknowledge that if your student is sharing conversation with you, that's wonderful. What a great relationship. Right. And if students are able to use their words to share about their world, mentors should definitely affirm that and recognize that as a very positive thing. But sometimes it is difficult to transition, especially to activities that need to be done during the mentoring hour. If a teacher assigns homework, for instance, maybe we do want to focus on that. So when you're having a good conversation, I would encourage you to pay attention to some of the nonverbal cues that the student might be giving you. So for instance, if you're losing eye contact with that student or that student is starting to show some hyperactivity, it might be time to change from your conversation to a more physical activity. And those can be things like playing catch, taking a walk around the school, or even just sitting in the room that you're in and doing some jumping jacks. Getting some physical activity into your routine is a wonderful, healthy way for kids to process. So I would encourage you to pay attention to those nonverbal cues and then also set very clear expectations from the beginning and talk about how maybe you might begin your mentoring hour with a little conversation, but then halfway or maybe a quarter of the way through your time together, you might want to think about taking turns. For instance, I would like to choose an activity for us to do, and then after that, we can do anything that you want to do, and that can be very child-centered.
Oh, sure.
So for instance, my choice is we need to finish this homework sheet. So we do the homework sheet together, and then I ask the student, so now that we're finished with the homework sheet, what would you like to do with it this time? And then do your best to accommodate whatever the request that they make. So it feels affirming when they choose something different.
So maybe my student might say, well, here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to do my math next.
Well,
maybe a little less than that.
Could that work, though? Maybe we take turns doing the math together.
Yeah, well, that's a great point. I know I had a student that I mentored that to transition him into doing academic activity, I usually had to do the first math problem. And then all of a sudden we were going on it, but until I took my turn first. But when it came to playing a game, no, he wanted his turn first, and so I had to flex with that.
Absolutely.
But what I hear you saying is that read your student as far as the transition, and also be deliberate about saying that we're going to have transitions every time we get together.
Right.
We're going to go from this to this to this. We're going to do a variety of things which they're used to doing in school.
Absolutely. And I would definitely encourage you to be very intentional about making time for some fun during your mentoring hour as well, so that it doesn't feel like a tutoring relationship, but it really does feel like more of a mentoring relationship.
Yeah, these are all great points for all of us, Emilie, because as mentors and students, the primary reason we're together is to enjoy a relationship. And that's how the whole program is structured, so that we really do live life together. And we all know that life together is life at its best.